How many times did you sit back just relaxing? Understand movements coming in, yeah, we got the vaccine. I don't really want to see no more traffic.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to Kathy and Susie's Kids.
Yeah, welcome to Kathy and Susie's Kids. Welcome again. Sorry we had to mute it. Guys, I'm so sorry about that. We're with a special guest right now.
Yeah. Miss Angela Heise, how are you doing today?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Super honored that you agreed to come on the show. At first I was like, man, I don't know if she's going to come or not, but you did.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, super nerve-wracking, but I'm super proud to be here. Thank you so much. It's a big honor on my part. I was very shocked.
Teachers are number one.
Yeah, underrated.
For sure.
And then, you get older in life and you realize, who instilled what whenever you were growing up. And then I guess who inspired you in certain moments. And that's how it was for me. And I feel like, teachers don't get that spotlight often. So welcome here. It's time to shine the light on you.
And guys,
thanks.
Yellow Jackets, we know this. You know this is an art teacher. You know what I mean? Come on, guys.
Yeah. I don't know whenever you guys were learning the color wheel. I remember, Miss Heise. The contour lines, Miss Heise.
What does make blue?
Blue is its own color. Nothing makes blue.
Photography, Miss Heise. I remember whenever we were going through photography, it was right whenever the smartphones, and not really smartphones, I think, but digital cameras are first coming out.
Right,
and in my mind, I'm just like, why are we learning how to do this? Because it's outdated.
Right.
And not even thinking this is art. And then learning through you that it was art and being able to cherish that and then move forward with it and now take it into what we're doing now is pretty awesome to me. So I think thank you for instilling that, at a young age. So.
Oh, you're welcome.
But no, I think that you did it for many others. And you've been at St. Martin for how long now?
This is my 22nd year.
What?
Yeah.
22 years.
Yeah, double deuce.
They say time flies when you're having fun.
Look at this bridge picture.
Okay.
Like the bridge. Oh, let's go straight to the bridge.
I don't know what the bridge picture is.
You shot this bridge picture.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That is, I'm going to hang that on my wall.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So
That was during our travels. We went a couple summers ago. We decided that I have family in Buffalo, New York. And so we were that far and we said, let's go ahead and hang a right and go to Maine. We'd never been to Maine. We're big camping people. We have a camper. And so we pulled the trailer to Maine and we stopped in Vermont. And Vermont is amazing. Like, I want to move to Vermont. It's
really,
yeah, it's beautiful.
Never in a million years did I think somebody would say that about Vermont, but shout out,
Oh my God.
Hashtag Vermont.
It is gorgeous.
So, when you're saying about so that's the reason I threw that up right off the bat because I want to change it up this time. We're podcasting, we can do what we want.
Uh-huh.
It was that, teaching is, it's a passion for you. Especially with photography and taking a photo like that photo, like I do photography and I admire that photo. I'm like that.
Thanks.
So, and that's an inspiration though. Like, and that you do this, but you also still get out. You're constantly shooting photography.
Yeah.
Whether you're paid or not, you're a photographer.
Well, I don't know that I'm a photographer, but I do like taking photos. Yeah, I'm that person when I'm on family vacations. They're like, "Come on, Mom, let's go," and I'm still trying.
Matt,
to
we do the same thing.
I know. I got like a bunch of 128 SD cards. See, but I gave up the manual. There's too much work there, but I still respect it.
Right.
But yeah, I fill up. I got 2 or 3 128 cards just full of photos. And I've been to the battleship, and I think I took 1,500 pictures of the battleship, and then all for 2 pictures that I posted. But it's learning. It's learning what shots you want and where to
every
sit.
1,000 photos that you shoot, there's going to be that 1 or 2 awesome shots.
There you go, girl.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what it's all about.
I shoot I shoot manual. 24 mil G Master is my lens.
Nice.
That's my baby.
Nice.
He does shoot manual. I got him on the Nifty 50.
I'm learning ISO and totally different.
Yeah.
What is it? 35 millimeter.
You learned that in my class.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything from school, really, hardly, other than who was cool and who wasn't, who was nice to me, who wasn't, who respected.
Those are things that mattered.
Yeah,
then.
the things that mattered then.
Yeah.
So we go on these photography. I get it because I do when I do therapy for me. is grabbing my camera and put music on and just capturing the city.
Right.
Or my family. Like I do still footage of my kids. It's like, and my family, like, but it's photography is everything. It's like that. It's that outlet. And you're knocking yourself on that because like a lot of your stuff, it's coming back aperture and, ISO and
I'm just so impatient.
I know,
really
but
am.
you're
It's
getting,
the
dude,
worst.
you're getting like watching some of his shots to watch him develop because believe it or not, with our show, I shoot on a Sony A7 III. Well, then with the marketing company, I have 2 other A6400s, and I gave him one as a gift. Was like to inspire him, and this is true. I gave it and just said, "This is how you're going to learn."
Right.
How'd you learn? How'd I learn? You get it and you shoot it. Like she said,
Practice.
I shoot
Just like with football.
Just like with football.
You have to go out on the field and you got to throw that ball and you got to catch it. You got to fall down a couple of
Oh
times.
man, yeah.
You got to
I
get
feel like it
hit.
pays back. Like I feel those injuries now from back then. But back to the
With photography, it's the same concept.
Do you
just
also
have to
teach
keep-
it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Bobby.
I didn't
Bobby.
know. I didn't know with this Common Core stuff if they cut those kind of
Oh
classes out of it.
no, that doesn't really affect art. But
Okay,
yeah,
I
no.
don't
So
know.
I still teach photography. I still have a dark room. Unfortunately, with COVID, I can't have a dark room because it's literally a 10-foot room.
Yeah,
and so
for
it's
bacteria
too. Yeah,
and-
well, it's
and
too
mold
close.
and-
It's too close for 2 people to
Comfort,
be
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I've had to go all digital this year, which was really something that I fought for so long to incorporate into my class to begin with, because I was, really hell-bent on it being 35 millimeter. We were going to get in that dark room and we're going to do chemicals because they have to learn the foundation and the history of behind, photography and da-da-da-da-da. And so I'm so glad, with COVID, you had to find that silver lining. And so I'm
Yep.
so glad that I'm doing digital because I'm learning the science, more science behind photography, like forced perspective. We're doing lots of still photography. We're doing lots of motion. And it's been a lot of fun. We're doing water labs.
You're more than welcome to borrow my rig, my setup.
You're so sweet.
Because we have a sublimation machine. So me and Matt. No, but we have a big.
You come to my class and you can come.
Well, guess what?
You
I
made these
did
hats.
it. We do. We have an Epson 570, like the 24 inch.
Yeah.
And we have metal prints. Okay. So downstairs, right over there, we have.
See, I was looking at your setup over there.
Yeah, but we have metal prints. So
Ooh,
if
I
you
could
feel like
really-
that is kind of like the dark room of now.
Yeah, no,
so
it is.
maybe
No, absolutely.
So maybe getting some student stuff run off. You're more than welcome to, because that metal chrome. It's game changer.
It pops.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing.
You can always use anything we have because
Or you could just always come be a guest speaker in my classroom because it sounds like you are more of an authority on it than me.
I do underground. Like when it comes to photography, it is.
I don't think he's allowed around children. No, I'm just kidding.
So.
Is there a court order?
Yeah. I just even from so before you leave, I have a Polaroid.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So we shoot these, and I take it to the Mardi Gras just to go.
Yeah.
You know what? You can give me any camera. Give me an iPhone. You can give me whatever. I'm gonna capture you.
Right. No, because that's what photography is about, is capturing that moment. Absolutely.
Living in it, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking
So-
of, let me show the one of us in New Orleans that you sent me today.
Yeah. So I found that gym. Yeah. Because I keep a lot of my artwork.
Look at Brittany flexing.
Yeah.
So was this my senior year? I think it probably was.
So I've got 2 interesting stories about Matthew. As you know, he was one of my former students. And so the first year that I had Matthew, I think it was maybe his sophomore year, and he was in a painting class, and he didn't really know anyone in that class. And so there was a chair that was next to my desk, and he would sit in that chair every day, but there was no desk or anything. And I was like, Matthew, you got to do your work. But he would just sit there.
Surprising.
And so I went to a teacher. It was Vedas Perkins, bless her soul. And
Yeah.
I said, look, I got this problem. I got this kid that's always sitting at my desk and not doing the work. And she's like, okay, what you need to do is get his own desk. So we went, and I had tables and chairs because that's an art room. And so she went in search of this desk, like a single desk, like a table kind of desk. And we got this desk just for Matthew, and we put it right next to my desk. And so that was his spot. He sat separately from everyone
I was like the
else.
assistant teacher.
So
There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
So that was that was our first experience, and then he came back for more. He came to the photography class.
Got my own desk. Why wouldn't I come back?
And that was his senior year, but he had friends in that class. And so he got to sit with.
So the first class, he didn't have any friends, correct?
I think it was all younger freshmen or something like
I just
that.
want to get that.
It was just a motley crew.
I just want an audio
mixture.
clip of this.
Yeah, it was. I have vague memories of it. So, but in my own desk, yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so this photography class, I used to take them down to New Orleans, and we would go. The first thing we would do is we'd go on a scavenger hunt. And this is 35 millimeter cameras.
Yeah, we got them around their necks, right? Yeah.
And so I would issue on the bus, I would give them a scavenger hunt list, and they would have to go on a scavenger hunt. We would start out at Cafe Du Monde, because a lot of kids had never experienced that.
I think that was my first time to ever experience cafe.
Couldn't do that anymore, can you?
No. Well, this is the last. I tell this story every single year when kids say, "Can we go on a field trip?" And I'll say, "Well, no, we can't because of Matthew Brooks." So,
Hey, let's go with the story.
They need to donate to the art department to make up for it.
yeah. Well, when GoFundMe comes around, you need to go ahead and put some $2 signs in there. Anyway, so they go on the scavenger hunt. They have to go find all these photos. Right? And then after, we would meet in front of the cathedral, and then we'd load up on the bus, and then we would go to the Audubon Zoo, and then we would go on another scavenger hunt. So it was a great day, and it would just be me with all these teenagers. I was young and dumb. I just had no clue of what I was thinking, but I don't know. It was terrible. So anyway, I'm in front of the cathedral. I usually get there early before the kids are going to have to be there, so I can make sure in case kids got there early. And I see this person run, and I'm like, I guess there's a running group.
I can't wait. Yeah.
And then I see another person run, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. They're not like in running gear. And then I see a cop running. I'm thinking, I don't think, what's going on? And they're like running, and then they kind of like run by me, and I realize, oh my God, that kid is in a uniform. And that's a kid I think I know. And then all of a sudden I see my students coming towards me, and they're like, Miss Heise, Miss Heise, Miss Heise. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, Matthew's in trouble. And I said, what are you talking about? They're like, that's him. And I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. So I start, of course, I'm not a runner, okay? So I start approaching over towards the cop, and I'm like, sir. And I'm like flailing my hands. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm trying to get into the bottom of this because, this is a big deal. So apparently, Matthew took a photo of someone in the flea market, and that someone was Muslim. In a Muslim culture, you don't take a picture of someone without asking permission because they feel like you take a picture of their soul. And so this guy had politely asked for the camera. And Matthew said no, because that wasn't his camera. It belonged to me. And he knew that it was a grade and he was going to get in trouble. And so when he said, no, I need the camera, Matthew said no and ran. Well, when he ran, the guy went chasing after him. And then he started calling for the cops, and the cops chased. And
I looked like I was 37, so
right.
Lessons learned.
Yeah,
though.
so I had to
This
explain.
is Matt right here on the right. This is the venture right here. You got Brittany Koblenz over there in the corner over there. Yeah.
So I had to explain to the cop that he was
that
a
Billy?
kid. We had to expose the film.
Yeah.
It was. So that was the last time I ever took anyone and any group down.
I feel like that was a learning
I
experience.
feel like we got away with it lightly, considering all things that could have went wrong in New Orleans.
Oh, I was very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. There were a lot of people on my side, namely God.
Yeah.
The fact that you went straight in and that you were running from a guy,
Yeah, I mean, it was either
Did
that
you
or fight
scream
with him.
rape? No.
No. I'm pretty sure he was just trying to take it from me, and I was just like, no, you're not getting this.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I was probably sizable at the time.
Were you about to fight him?
I think it got to that point.
Well,
and then,
I mean, weren't you a lineman? I mean,
yeah. It could have ended, but no, I knew that wasn't the right thing.
So that was your last experience in New Orleans.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of teenagers. Mm-hmm.
Well, I hate to have ruined it for everybody. Sorry, guys. There's better things to do
Look
now,
at that
like
camera.
digital cameras.
But look in that camera and just say
I'm
sorry
sorry
for ruining St. Martin New York field trip.
It's not like it's game over.
The photography field trip was ruined by Matthew Brooks.
And the worst part of it was
born
I had the
December
rest of the day and I could
25th,
not even grab a drink.
1980.
Yeah, no,
Do
I'm
the rest
sorry,
of the day
yeah.
sober. It was horrible.
Well, looking back on it now, I feel like a big dirtbag. Then I thought I was like defending my pride and like.
It was good. It was a great life lesson for a lot of people, especially me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you forgive me and have moved on. And
I do
Shut up,
forgive you,
Michelle.
and I am so proud of you. Actually, I am.
well,
I'm
we're proud of you.
very
man.
proud of both of you. That I my
You got,
gifts.
that's not even my birthday, girl.
No, I know.
What are you doing?
Oh man.
What are you doing?
All right. Nice.
Oh, I'm going back to school. I got to finish my degree.
What are we getting, Jordan? You ready?
I don't know.
So, as you know, I am
love
the
it.
first swim coach of St. Martin High School.
We have a swim team?
Yes, yes.
This is awesome.
And so I know that once a yellow jacket, always a yellow jacket.
Always.
So
Always for life.
I thought maybe you would, enjoy some.
Some merch. I love
Some
it.
merch,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean,
Well, we gave you just our raggedy old beer, crawfish and beer hat, so we're sorry
I
that
love
it's not
it.
as cool.
No. I love caps.
is
So.
this a magnet?
Yeah, so put that on your car or
Or
wherever.
can we just put it over there? Is a magnet to the wall? How do we do
We
this?
can get it on there.
I got some duct tape. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it. That's the name of our show is figuring it out.
So I'm gonna wear it
We
right
always
now.
Start doing something and we fail at it until we figure out how to be successful.
It's true.
at this.
We are. I mean, that's what we do.
But I just thought,
No, I do love it.
Shame on you, Matthew. Yeah.
This is my first St. Martin merch in a long time.
He is an outlaw, and that's his life.
That's true. That's true.
since high school, right?
So
Yeah,
I'm
this is before
I'm
then, I
official
think.
swim team now.
There you go.
So how did you get into this
Sweet.
love of swimming and the
Thank you for the gifts.
I guess
You're welcome.
to be able to be the coach of it?
So I swam in high school.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Where'd
did.
you go to high school at?
I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, San Antonio.
Well,
Okay.
no. San Antonio.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
like they sing it
oh.
that way.
Yeah, but
in the
he
country
wants to
song.
go hard on you. Like he wants to go mumble rap.
Yeah, no. San Antonio.
So you swam there. Did you go
Yes.
swim anywhere else after that, or was that it? That was game
No,
over.
it was game
But
over
there's
after high
no
school.
swimming in Mississippi. I don't think ever. There wasn't whenever we were kids, right?
We had the YMCA,
That's
right?
changed now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely grown a lot since since
Do we have a swimming pool at the school?
no. We swim at the Ocean Springs YMCA.
Okay.
And it's a big pool.
No, not really. It's 6 lanes. So
I took swim lessons.
So, girl, you're like the
there.
Cool Runnings of teachers right now.
about that.
You ever seen Cool Runnings? Or you know?
Yeah, I know Cool Runnings. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Are you
I
winning?
mean-
Are y'all winning?
yeah, actually, we are. Our first year, we had 14 kids. We started in 2014, and we took a kid to state, and she won third. I think she took a bronze.
That's impressive.
And so
First year?
yeah,
That
yeah,
is.
yeah. And so every year we've gone to state. And this last year we had a banner year. We took it was a very competitive year because of
Right here.
COVID, and so our boys relay team made it to finals, and they were placed 7th in the state, which is really
That's really
good.
good.
And then we had a gold medalist.
right there. We got
Yeah,
right
there
here.
it is.
Yeah, so he's making incredible waves.
No pun intended.
Never.
Are these kids getting scholarships out of this stuff?
Okay, so we do have one that it went to a D1 school. She's a junior now
Awesome.
in Arkansas.
What?
Yeah. So she's amazing. But a lot of it is because they swim year round. We do have Best, which is over in Biloxi.
Okay. Is that
And
like
so-
the competitive swim team or? Okay.
yeah, so they-
I'm out the loop when it comes to all that.
Yeah, so they swim off season from high school swim, and so it's like club swim.
This is groundbreaking right now.
Well, I see like they got the year-round baseball, travel ball.
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
Don't
So
have
they
a
have that
fishing
for
team.
swim.
They have a fishing team too.
They
now.
do, yeah. So they got a fishing team before they got a swim team, but yeah,
They were doing
have-
bowling, I think,
they
right
have-
whenever we were on the outs there.
Yeah,
I think
we have
bowling was new.
archery. I mean, we really have. There's no reason for a kid not to be active.
What
at
I think is
St.
cool
Martin.
is that you like went full blown Cool Runnings and you pushed the team and you've been
So
inspiring.
was it
kids.
like, hey, we're bringing a swim team to St.
Yeah.
Martin. We need
Like,
a teacher or we need a coach? Or was it like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
how'd that
bringing a swim
happen?
team
How'd
into
that
St.
happen?
Martin?
Well, actually, there was a parent that was really instrumental in it. It was the one that their child is at the D1 school.
Okay.
And
That's often
was
what
the
it takes.
whites.
That's what it takes to get
Yeah,
there.
and they just really kept pressing, and they had just had enough push, and they made it happen. And so they interviewed, a whole bunch of coaches, and I got the gig.
You got the gig. That's what's up.
But
But
you-
you're probably the only one there that swam whenever you were younger.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Because there was a couple of coaches that were like, "Yeah, I want the gig."
Yeah.
Do you see the work you're putting in with these kids and stuff? You eventually see that St. Martin will have a pool in the future, maybe 20 years from now.
I don't know. I don't know that there are people that see the cost benefit analysis of it.
Yeah, we should do scuba lessons.
You should
and then-
call it Miss Heise's pool, like Heise pool.
I would love for it to be the Heise Aquatic Center. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Jordan, we can make a donation. And
Yeah,
get
we
an
will.
aquatic center.
Your name's going on a wall. For sure.
I do have quite a few sponsors that were interested in in dumping some money if they would come off of it.
People
So,
that watch our show, guys,
Yeah,
some of
they
y'all
know.
got some bankroll.
Yeah.
Let's
All we gotta
go.
do- All we're gonna do is take a little fun.
But I
out
mean,
of it.
it's wonderful because we do need to teach kids how to swim. I think that, like Ocean Springs, they have a 3rd grade aquatic program where they teach all 3rd graders how to swim.
Really?
That is so important. I mean, living on the coast and
Well,
you
it's
don't
good.
know how
It's
to
good
swim.
exercise too.
Oh, it's incredible exercise.
Because with my disability, my cerebral palsy, like, there's nothing better when you get that one leg moving.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel it. I mean, I can get a workout in about 5 minutes.
Oh, well, see,
I'm more just like float and drink kind of guy.
Well,
creep.
I mean, you also ran from the cops.
Yeah, it's not the only time I've run
some
from the
people
cops
are
in
runners,
34 years.
people are swimmers. I mean, no. But I had back surgery in 2016, and I had lots of nerve damage to my leg, and I had one of those lazy legs where it just.
I got irritable rest syndrome or whatever it is when my leg just kicks every now and again.
Yeah, so that's swimming would probably benefit you.
Probably would.
Hey, who says over there? Somebody says this is looks like a family member says you're.
Oh, that's Juliana Heise. That's little Juliana.
That's my daughter.
She says, I know. That she was like this big whenever I was in school.
Yeah, she probably was on your
She's
shoulder.
being way too humble, she says.
Oh my God.
I love your brother John. John goes, go sis, go sis.
Yeah, you got some support in here.
John's very talented.
Oh yeah, no, we have our family is
He's a great graphic designer.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I remember you bringing him in whenever we were in school to come do guest speaking, as
Yes.
you would call it. Is that what you just asked us to do?
Yes.
Guest speaking?
Yes.
And I mean, at that point, experiencing somebody else that's in the real world, that's in the real environment, when all you're looking at is all these teens, and it's almost like you're in a jail cell. Or at least that's how I looked at it. It was
I'm really big
inspiring.
into that. I want to bring people in from the community and so that they can share their job and so that they can, tell these kids, hey, this is what I do. This
I
is
didn't
how I
even know
use my
like what jobs were available at that age. I just wasn't thinking that far ahead, and I don't
No,
think many
because
people are.
I mean, it's all about football and what you're doing on
I was
Friday.
mad half
You
the
were
time.
mad.
Oh,
Mad at the world.
Yeah, very that was right there. I think it was at CD's Silverchair. Blame them. Like that's the anthem.
So clearly, I mean, there's,
It's those teenagers. That's normal.
do you see this in
Anthem
school?
2000.
Like,
Remember
I mean,
that? It changed my life.
Every year you're going to have memorable relationships. That's what I'm good at, is forming memorable relationships
Yeah.
and getting to know people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're doing that every year, and
Yeah.
you've been there now 22 years. So you
Yeah.
got to, I mean, think of how far your reach is, if we would call it a Heise family tree, if you will. I think that's, you do got some out there, some, I guess, influence. So coming out of St. Martin, you're a big influence in my life. I think you're a big influence on other people's, but to know that you're still doing it and you're still out there, making changes.
Big changes.
What else have you seen? I mean, as far as the growth, I mean, from the city, from the internal look. I mean, there at St. Martin, I don't know, like, not just the people repeating. Do you have the same personas? You have the same, I guess, people meeting the same quota every year as far as being Matthew Brooks, or do you have a Jordan Duran, or do you have a,
Oh, well, yeah, no, that's
or is
kind of
everybody
interesting.
different?
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
It took a long way to get that question out. I
Yeah.
think.
That's a good question, Matt.
going with
Don't,
this,
yeah,
Matt?
don't worry, Matt. You're,
That's kind of deep.
No. Is it you got your jocks? Do you got your?
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I mean, you're always going to have a certain kind of kid, and you always you want to reach them all,
Right.
But the St. Martin has changed a lot. We've got a lot more kids. I mean, we're sitting at I think 1,300
What?
1,300 kids,
No, we-
13,
Wow.
1,400 kids.
What? That's a lot.
We have a lot. We have a lot of kids, and it's very different from when y'all went to school.
I knew everybody when I went to school.
Yeah,
I think we
So-
graduated with like 180 kids or something.
No.
And that was a lot. I thought it was. But
So, I mean, like right now, if I was to conservatively say that I had 75 kids per semester, and that would be 150 kids a year at 22 years.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That family tree.
3,300 kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
So to say that, they do kind of funnel into certain categories.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some that, I do have fondness for, because, I make a connection, and a lot of it's because they maybe made a connection with me.
Right.
But it's not because I favored them. It's because they were like, hey, I need this help, or hey.
I think that's how it was for me. I mean, clearly there was something wrong with the guy that wants to sit next to the teacher in class, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to do that.
No, especially their art teacher.
I'm blown away with so 180 was us.
Yeah, I think that's around what it was.
Wow, that's a big change. So we got some guys. We got some right here. We got Anna. Way to go, Angela. Anna, I can't wait till you run again, girl. I still got your running signs upstairs in my attic. Martha LaRue, Bennett, my girl.
Yes,
Junior's like a brother to me, and I grew up in her at her house, holidays, everything. Another one, English teacher,
Yeah, she's
passionate,
amazing.
about the kids,
Yes.
sports. One of the people you go, you know what? That's because it's a lot. She's dedicated.
Oh, absolutely. No, she gives
That's cool that
everything.
she's in here.
Yeah.
Time Span from YouTube is saying hello. I'm from Emerald Isle.
Emerald Isle. Cool. Give us a shout out in Emerald Isle.
Holla.
Oh, who is it?
It says time span. Time span.
YouTube Time Span.
Oh, I think that's Paul.
Oh, could
What
be.
up, Paul?
It's from Ireland? Is that what you said?
Emerald Isle.
Emerald Isle.
I don't know. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. Maybe it's Paul then.
YouTube doesn't give us many details on who it is.
I think it's probably.
Hey, Tom, why don't you say something in the chat right here?
Hey, let us know who you are.
Hey, got any questions for this dope teacher? Go ahead and drop them right now.
So do y'all still do you do anything extra other than the swim team? I know you do like junior civitan and all that stuff.
Okay, so I stopped doing junior civitan. That became a little bit too much. And there were just times when I was just doing so much. For a long time, I was doing like the senior stuff. I was doing like the senior luncheons. I was doing all graduation
And
stuff.
then the growth of all the kids. I mean, I'm kind of shocked right now.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
just became a lot. I mean, and it's just every time I turned around, I had this responsibility, had that responsibility, and about 2 years ago, I said I can't do anymore. I've got to slow down, and I just want to be able to enjoy my students because I felt like I was getting torn thin. It's just
Yeah, your cup runneth over.
yeah, and so. I kind of stopped doing that, and so now what I'm doing is I got invited into doing something with the WAMA. They've got this environmental and arts.
Is that
action.
Rankins, huh? Yeah,
Julian.
they got the what's Corey Christie's podcast, the Mississippi Go, I think.
Oh no, man! You had to put us.
I mean, they know what it is. They got their own podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so Julian and Anthony from the WAMA, they wrote this grant, and so what they wanted to do is really bring plastic awareness to our kids because there's so much misuse of plastic.
Yeah.
And they really feel like if we can get that to our students and really start at the grassroots level. And so what we're doing is we're doing environmental and arts community action. And so it's going to be a year-long process. They're actually coming out to the school on Friday, and they're going to bring 2 artists, a filmmaker and an environmental artist, where she uses like the rocks and the clay and the grass of the earth to make pigments and stuff.
That's
and
pretty
then
neat.
and then on Saturday they're going to take kids and they're going to kayak to Deer Island and do some art stuff.
Wasn't it Walter Anderson that did? Was that this big thing?
I think it was he went to
He
Horn
went to
Island.
Horn Island.
Now they're going to go to Horn probably later on, maybe September or October. But so it's going to be it's a neat project. It
I wish
really
when
is.
we were younger, I wish I did more of them things. To see more of them things, like in the.
I
Right.
feel like I'd use that as just an excuse to get away from the reality of like, hey, this is what we're trying to teach you. I mean,
Hey,
be
you
a
know what?
robot.
You want us to come out? Me and Matt come out. What do you want us to do?
And
I
I
won't
can
be
tell
there. I won't be there this Friday. I'm going to Montana, but any other time, I'm down. I got to make up for banning the New Orleans field trip. I got
Hey,
time.
and with photography, I'm down too. If you need even anything you need from me, if you feel like I can inspire somebody, maybe I'll come. I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely, because we as teachers we can't do it by ourselves.
No,
'Cause,
for sure.
Sometimes, like with parenting, sometimes you can tell your kid over and over and over,
Text hearing it from somebody else.
and when they hear it from someone else, they do it, and you're like, well, I just said that like 5,000 times.
What about whenever they hear it from the Cat in the Hat? Do you think that they take it into consideration?
Yeah.
So I started that whenever my son.
Fist bump.
When my son was in pre-K, I decided I wanted to have something that was interactive with him and his class. So I invited his class over, and actually our class went to his school.
Yeah.
He went to St. Andrews over in Ocean Springs, And so we went in, we did like a reading thing, because I'm really big into reading, because I feel like a lot of kids don't really like to read. I didn't read in high school. That wasn't my thing.
I either. I have to listen.
I do 2 audiobooks a week.
Yeah.
So I don't. I need to read more. Emily does a chapter of Harry Potter every night before bed.
See, that's great.
So
That's
I
awesome.
need to get to that level, but
Yeah.
I cheat and I just.
Well, that's okay.
But
That's
I
okay.
need to read more. You're right. I've been thinking about that.
But so because I wasn't a reader, I read to my children every single night, and that was really important to me. So I wanted to make sure that my students saw that, because they might not come from a home that reading was important. So I wanted to bring
That's
that
powerful.
into and have this kind of thing where they were with little kids, and maybe that would instill something.
It, yeah.
Right. So we started that, and then when they went to St. Martin East, I partnered with the teachers, and Read Across America was a thing. And I was like, hey, let's make a Read Across America thing. And I'm kind of theatrical, and dressing up is not a big thing for me. So I would dress up as Cat in a Hat. And
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's one of the
I love it too.
Yeah.
Hold on to get this out. I got to do this. Go to. So guys, we're still figuring it out. All right. Right now, if you go ahead and share this, Matt, what are you saying? 1 or 2 hats? What are you doing this time?
We'll do 2 hats this time.
Okay, guys, you share this video right now.
We'll announce our winners next week. We got some winners from the last video too.
But guys, you share this, you enter to win a hat. Me and Matt will send it. We make it with love. This is a powerful story. Education, teachers, like this is awareness. Like we get this out. Share this. You can win a hat.
I mean, I feel like everybody, in their life growing up, has that one person that sticks out to their mind, and I think I've told you that several times throughout but you got other people like that, and one of them that we were talking about earlier was Dylan, and we put him in our intro, so we want to give a shout out to Dylan, but we got some pictures to drop of did we ever get your tattoo in there?
Oh yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, so you let Dylan come back and tattoo you after he was in your art class, which is probably one of the full circle things that you would experience. But tell us what Dylan means to you, and how he said, I think he was super more. He was common.
Well, Dylan's kind of like my second son. He and I, he was in my AP art class. He took all of my art classes, and he was in my AP art class. And we would fight like mother and son a lot, because I would say, no, you can't do that. You need to do this. And he's like, but I want it like this. I like it like this. And I'm like, but that's not art. And so we go back and forth. But then he was going to school to do music. And I was like, man, that's not what you need to be doing. This is not your thing. So he decided he was just not going to go to school. And I was like, so what are you going to be doing? And he's like, well, I think I want to be a tattoo artist. And I was like, oh, yes. Because I knew that he would do really well.
And like 99.9% of other teachers would be like,
well,
and that's what makes you special.
And this is Dylan. Now we're showing pictures. This is Dylan, like from Passion of Art, and you being like he said that was a cool thing he said today was we had Matt Stebley on.
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
He mentored him, and he said. Crazy. He said, you got 2 of my mentors, my 2 mentors. And that was like a powerful, message of saying, hey, you know what, girl, but not only is he a tattoo artist, he's a phenomenal artist.
Oh, I have lots of his artwork. And in fact, I have tons of his artwork in my classroom. And one of my big things is when I decide to retire, that's going to be like a big blowout. And so I'm going to put all the art. Yeah. Well, it's be a big blowout. And so I'm going to put all the artwork of all the kids that I've kind of confiscated. And I'm like, okay, you can have it back now. But I have, lots of his artwork. It's beautiful.
You keep it all. You keep it all. That's worth something. Maybe you should
do you have his mugshot?
No, I don't have a mugshot.
You didn't get a mugshot that day?
I didn't get arrested.
No. But so I do have, his first thing that he did was he did an anchor, because that's when he was working at Twisted Anchor. So he did an anchor for me. And then the second thing he did was a tribute to my mother. My mother passed away from breast cancer. Well, it started out as breast cancer, and then it metastasized to bladder cancer, and then it traveled to everything, and it was horrible. And so I decided I wanted to get a tribute piece for her, and so he did that. And then he's done a couple of my pieces. So
it's in the video right there. So when guys, when you see this, we just put in a video.
Oh, there it is.
We didn't think he was common.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
We didn't think he was common.
Quick.
We didn't think he was common.
I don't feel like
We
I'm.
didn't think he was common.
Well, I mean, this is beautiful art, but to see somebody that you once taught to come back and to let them tattoo something on you, that's awesome.
no, it's incredible.
Well, let's talk about some other things that you've done. I'm looking at some art here that I asked for. I said, Miss Heise, what have you been working on here? So tell us what these pieces are. I'm gonna show the eggs now. It looks like eggs, so that's what I would call them.
Okay, yeah. So they're Ukrainian eggs.
Okay.
So part of my heritage, I'm half Ukrainian,
Okay.
half Italian, and so I grew up doing these eggs since I was 6. It was something that my father would sit and we would do it at Easter. It's a traditional thing that you would do at Easter. And so it's something that my daughter decided that she wanted to start doing. So I would pull them out and we would do them together. And so those are just a couple of pieces that I've done recently.
I mean, the detail on these things is
incredible.
How
How do you
small
do
is the actual paintbrush that you're doing?
Well, it's a dye resist. So you're using wax. So you wax.
I've got so much to learn.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So you wax the egg, everything that you want. So you start out with a white egg, and you would wax everything that you want white. Then you would dye it in the dye, and then you wax over. Like say I dye it in yellow.
Oh, so this takes like.
So it's like an actual egg. Like it's not like a. So I can eat that.
No.
okay.
So you
But you mold the wax to the shape or the
No.
form.
it's hot wax, and so it melts onto the egg.
Yeah.
And it's called a kriska. So it's like I have an electric one, or you can sit there with a flame and you keep melting the wax. So anyway, and so let's say I have yellow on my egg, I would cover up everything I want yellow with the wax, and then I would put it in red, and then everything I want red I would cover up. So you keep covering, keep covering.
How long does this take?
As long as you need it to, because it is precise line.
How'd you pull this off? Is what we're trying to figure out. The Navy. You did a Navy one.
Okay, yeah. So
How long that take?
yeah, that took a little bit. That was probably a couple days.
A couple days. No big deal.
Well, that one was a little more. That was emotional for me to do because my son is in the Navy. And
Oh, shout out, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he went in June, and so while he was in boot camp, I decided to do a tribute piece for him, so
That's
that when he
awesome.
got out of boot camp, he'd have something to commemorate.
Where's he at now?
He's over in Pensacola. He's
Okay, so he's close.
yeah, no, he is
The Blue Angel over there.
for a short while because he's about to go on board ship, and so he'll be out.
Well, we'll keep him in our
for
prayers.
3 years. Yeah, thank you.
And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
he's going to grow up a lot. And
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some more of this art you got. I'm looking at.
Well, let's go right back to it though. Go back to the comments real quick. We got to get to the comments.
All right.
I'm trying to. Well, we're trying to like engage with a live audience now.
Okay.
Got to go back to comments.
All right. Let's
This is
see
where
what-
Matt being impatient. All right.
Yeah,
It's
I'm so impatient.
So what is that?
Martha said I had a good role models like you did.
Let's talk about you.
And then
Martha's
Times fan says, "LOL, sorry, Angela. It's times." Wait a minute, sorry, Angela. Time span is my kid's meme. Paul from Ireland is correct. Yes,
Yeah.
we guessed it.
Yeah.
And then Krista Anderson, love y'all.
Krista.
And love watching y'all. That includes you too, Miss Heise. I think I still have my egg that she did in a 3D design.
And what
Oh yeah,
Martha
so
was-
I used to do that in some of my classes, the Ukrainian eggs. Yeah.
So Martha's thing though, she was talking about you as her role model. Which
Yeah,
is
but so I
dope.
didn't teach her, so I think she's probably talking
She's
about
had good
Vedas.
role models too.
She,
Okay, good role,
probably
yeah.
Vedas and Lishman.
Those were good. I mean, whenever you think of the ones who did, you teach us. I mean, is it still clicky? I mean, is it still people hanging out with the same people? You still sit at the lunch table with the same people, and you go,
Yeah, so we don't really have a teacher lunch table anymore.
What?
man,
What's
times
going on
have
here?
changed so much.
It's really different. Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna keep flashing some artwork up while we're talking. You don't have to talk about it.
Well,
per
I'm
se.
trying to figure out the live part because I want people to interact with you.
I understand.
Yeah, all right.
understand.
Let me ask about this. These look like little Legos, and it's like
Legos. Okay, so that's a Louise Nevelson.
Did you see little Legos?
I don't know.
Like Rice Krispies? Like, come on, bro.
see the detail.
Come on, man.
It's like a downward angle or
Okay, so
something.
it's like about this big.
Okay, so it's way bigger than the Lego.
Yeah.
You just called them Legos.
And they're wooden pieces.
Okay.
And it's probably about this deep. And so it's a whole bunch of wooden pieces. And so it's called an assemblage.
And it's
Not a
simple.
Lego, Matthew.
Assemblage.
Okay. Where's that derived from? How's that? What inspired you to make that?
Well, I'm actually going back to school to get certified to teach college art. And
Really?
yeah.
Just couldn't get enough of it.
I just couldn't. No.
It's awesome though.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else I feel like is doing that. Maybe some people, but it's a lost form to preserve it and to be able to pass it on.
Yeah.
What if me and Matt get a part of this and we just do like Mrs. Heise art collection and we just go out and hustle tables of art at shows?
I'd be down. We could set up a booth at
Yeah,
Walter
let's do it.
Anderson.
Well,
No,
like,
I don't
oh,
think
no.
I wanna
No, you do it. You do it. We'll support it. I'll buy some. This
No.
is a vase that looks like it's some, I don't know, what is that called? You send me a picture of it.
Oh, okay. So that's a piece of pottery.
Okay.
Mhm, yeah. And so I like to experiment with different techniques, and so that's got some salt on the glaze to see how it's going to interact with the glaze, and then I also incorporated glass.
That's incredible.
So there's another glass piece that you did.
Yeah, that I've never worked with glass before, so that's a whole new genre for me. That's really just
It's
totally
so cool.
out of my
So I had a
element.
friend. I had a couple of friends in college in Oxford, and they did art. They majored in art, and one of them did glass blowing. And I would go over.
I wanna do that
I would go over
so
to her
badly.
house sometimes, and we would just sit there. And I mean, I was mesmerized by
Yeah.
the things that she would make. I mean, we weren't any good at it, but she was learning. So to be there watching her, to take crafting, and I'm like, wow, this is neat.
So there's a show on Hulu or one of those, because we don't have cable TV, but we have all the internet TVs, and it's called Blown or Blown Away or something
I've
like
watched
that.
it.
Yeah,
You
my
watch it?
girlfriend
Oh
watches
my
it. I
god, my
watch it.
daughter and I watch it, and we're just so mesmerized, and it's just
Should we do it? I've been thinking
amazing.
about that.
So where are you blowing glass at now?
So I'm not blowing glass, but I'm
bending it.
Well, I'm just
blowing
fusing
glass
it.
is
Fusing it.
blowing
yeah.
glass is a
With like the
big,
oven, or
Yeah, but yeah, with the kiln. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a big like heated up big technique.
Yeah.
Love that show.
Yes, it's so cool.
do you have that access at the school, or is
Yeah,
that, is that
yeah,
also?
yeah,
That's pretty neat.
yeah,
that they-
yeah.
Whenever they did build a new school, how much extra stuff did they, I guess, gear just straight towards the art department? None at all. Yeah, no, you just had to come bring it in and be creative like always. So.
Yeah, just like
Besides, look at-
grants.
Look at you doing
Just
it.
right, man.
I just wish I go back and I could be more involved as a kid. Like art class for me didn't really enjoy it. Like I didn't take it seriously.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
but
did
you
either.
see, you were a kid. You're not really supposed to necessarily be that. But if you're feeling that burning sensation that you really are having some sort of regret or whatever, that's your time to give back. But you are kind of giving back with the whole.
Oh, I love art.
I mean-
It's everything's art for me. Like from owning pieces to I'm always creating.
well,
Like
see, I mean, you've got it in you. So I mean, that's,
no, I love like I just saying for me. I wish I would have went back. Like I really wish I would have. Like I was self-taught photography. Like
Yeah.
like just because I wanted an outlet, I wanted to express myself, and finding through art and just I think that, and if they're younger kids listening, it's like one of the things where hey, you know what, art class is like a place where you can express yourself. Spend a little more time than I spent. I never spent a lot of time in that class.
right.
That's the reality. Like I always try to sleep more.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest about my experience in art. Like to
No,
see,
I
Are
understand.
people fighting to get into your classes now, or are people like, I've heard of
gotta
her,
be.
I heard of her, and she's awesome, and we want to get in her class?
No,
Not to your
I
knowledge.
still have haters.
Not to your knowledge.
but haters are your biggest fans.
All right, we've asked a couple people this. What's your favorite school lunch?
School lunch.
your best
When's the last time you ate
Okay.
school lunch?
So
Question gun.
Yeah.
okay, so I really love cheesy chicken over rice.
All right, I'll keep chicken over rice. Give me a high five on that one.
No,
That's my favorite.
No, mine's a pizza squares.
Oh no.
But do you still eat? Do you still eat school lunch?
I wear skinny jeans now.
See, I'm a
too.
big bring my lunch to school kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was more of
They
a
charge us like 75 cents more
That school lunch was 75 cents when we went to school.
inflation.
than the student.
What is the school lunch now?
I think it's $2.75 or $2.50 for the
I think it was like
students.
75
I
cents
wish
when
I
I
could eat
went.
for $2. That's $20 every time I eat lunch. I feel like, or close to it. Like,
So bring your lunch.
Emily's kind of capped me on that, so I could try to eat at home now. Kind of because I don't really look at the what lunch costs. I just swipe the card.
Ah, see,
it's about more being on the go and being able to be accessible.
And I like
In my career,
crawfish.
gotta
I
be
like
accessible.
fancy foods. I'm not even.
See, I cook every night, so I just bring the extras. So it's not.
So let's talk about. You said you got a new field trip that you guys are doing. You sent me a flyer on it. I feel like I uploaded it.
that was the Whamma thing.
That was the Whamma
yeah,
thing. Okay,
Yeah,
we didn't show the.
I feel like I need to join her swim team right now.
Yeah, it's lots of fun. It's fun.
It's
Any
dope.
of these wins. So your kids. You said you got one that's in the Navy.
Yes.
And then Juliana, what's she doing now?
So Juliana is she's going to school over at USA to be a civil engineer.
Oh wow.
Oh, dude, she's gonna be the smartest one in the family. It's happening.
Both of my kids are very smart. My son was going to school.
Can we ask who your favorite is?
They're both my favorite.
And then you and your husband, y'all made 25 years this anniversary thing. This is a while back. How long have y'all been married?
So
now?
in June it will be 26.
and he started teaching too, right? Isn't he at St. Martin?
So Katrina, he lost his job at President Casino because
He looks like the lead singer of System of a Down. I'll say that right now.
I hope he's watching.
Shout out, bro.
No, he's the coolest cat. He lost his job at the President Casino, and I was in Walmart of all places, and Susie Hinton, do you remember, Susie, the secretary, she came to me and she's like, hey, doesn't Mike have a science degree? And I said, yeah, he does. She said, well, could he teach? And I said, yeah, I think he could. She said, well, tell him to come to the office tomorrow at 10 o'clock because we had a teacher that didn't come back from Katrina. And so he did, and he became a teacher. He got emergency certified, and
Did y'all carpool to work?
No, because he started driving a bus because he had a CDL, and so
More money, yeah.
Yeah, and so he had to get up. He had the Latimer route.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, so he had to leave at like 5 o'clock.
9722.
Nothing against the Latimer kids. That's where we grew up.
Is that 9722? Is the bus I rode?
Oh, I don't know what the bus. I think for a while it was like 58.
Yeah,
It's something like
You're
that.
crazy
yeah.
if you think they have the same numbers as back then.
Dude, I'm just trying to live. I'm trying
years,
I'm-
man.
You just go back
diving-
down to memory lane, right?
It was Miss Cook's husband was our driver,
Oh wow.
and we wrecked so many
Perkins.
times.
Oh wow.
He wrecked us so many. Like he wrecked. Like I remember getting on the buses when I was younger. It was Miss Cook. Remember Miss Cook?
Oh, yeah.
St. Martin loved her
Yeah,
death. Her husband wrecked us. His like first time driving the bus, and it was like me and Eric Bird were looking over, going, "Hey, we just got to wreck." Like a week later,
Mr. Newbie ran the stop sign there one time. I was in the bus with him.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Now that I'm an
It happens.
insurance agent, I see the risk involved, and they get some precautions taken to make sure you got the right people for the job. That's one important thing.
It's a very skilled labor kind of. I mean, they've had a really hard time trying to find bus drivers because not everyone can drive a bus.
right, or deal with all the distraction behind you.
Absolutely.
That's probably the main thing.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I can do it," and they get in there and like, "I can't do this. This is
driven
way
crazy.
too much."
Well, what's it like working with your husband? I mean,
Okay, so for the longest time, he taught science, and so I taught art, and so it was great. We didn't see each other except for at break, and so we would convene in the courtyard, and we'd make sure we had duty together.
Sup.
Sup, yeah. And so we would.
what's up? What's up? What's going on? Hey, okay.
And we'd share stories, and and of course we'd come home at night after he'd have a bus route, and so he'd come home late, and so we would share stories, and we really had a great time. We had a great partnership. And we really enjoyed summers because we would have an art and summer camp for the little kids. And that was a lot of fun. And then 2 years ago, he got a job as transportation director. And so now he's in charge of all the bus drivers.
responsibility.
I know. And
He's sold out.
He's sold
He's sold out, dude. You sold out, bro.
He left me all by myself.
It's all right. You're going to go teach college art to somebody.
right,
I mean,
right.
There's no buses needed in college.
No.
So that's like a fancy. Like, is he at the school anymore? Or is he at
So there's a special trailer.
they have a special trailer?
Yeah.
They still have trailers there?
Yeah. Yeah. So
From
they.
the Katrina trailers? Or?
Yeah.
Still?
So, yeah. Well, it's for the Wings
Okay.
kid.
So they put the smart kids in the trailer. They don't even let them go to the rooms. Okay. Anyway.
And admin, the assistant superintendent, and transportation.
Quentin.
Quint Venus says, we were very fortunate to have Mr. and Mrs. Heise as teachers. So Quint's my homie. I'm glad you're watching. Shout out Quint.
Line 5.
Yeah,
line
line
5. Neptune. We're in Neptune.
Oh, okay.
Line
All
5.
right.
All right, so tell us about, you said you spring hop. You sent me a picture of Morrison Springs. I did a podcast about me scuba diving in Morrison Springs.
Did you see where I put Jason from Friday the 13th?
Yeah. So we did some Photoshop in the pictures that I took that look very similar to this. So whenever I asked you for art and you sent me this, I immediately knew where it was because
Okay.
that place is super beautiful.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
So you and the family do this, or
Yeah. So a couple years ago, well, when we first got our camper, we decided that we were going to go spring hopping because it was a cheap way for us to get away, and it was a place to get cool.
Oh, fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
And so we just started spring hopping in Florida, and that was one of the places that we would go before we'd hit some of the places. Like we went to the Itchituckney, and we'd flip that, and places like that. So it was lots of fun.
and there you were with your camera the whole time taking pictures.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Pretty
and then
much.
that's the one that you came up with.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Look
it.
at Anna, your sister. You're the talented hairstylist.
Oh,
What up,
Anne-Marie?
sis? Yeah, what up, sis?
She,
Yeah.
where's her store's? It's right by CP.
Antonian. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's like a very this is beautiful, sophisticated.
there.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm a nail tech.
So you're learning all kind of stuff. When you said that the other day, you're like, I'm at the salon.
That one?
Yeah, so
That's a high. That's a beautiful high end one. I'm proud of you because you just
Yes.
made it.
You made it.
So when I was in college, my mother, she was a cosmetologist. And so she also did, she was a cosmetology instructor. And so she said, Angela, why don't you, while you're working and going to school, why don't you think about going to cosmetology school? And I was like, Mom, I really don't want to go to cosmetology school full on. She said, well, why don't you do nail tech school? It's only a couple of months. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I did that. And so I was able to work at the salon and, go to school, finish out my degree.
Always hustle.
Always a hustle. So since 1994, I've been a nail tech.
Do you have to like upgrade that or keep it up to date with continuing education and stuff like that?
Yeah,
So,
and I
so
have
it's
a
more of a
license.
commitment to you. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, you're wearing all these hats. Whenever we were younger and we didn't really see it, just saw the teacher that showed up, but you're doing all this, extracurricular.
Yeah, I was. In fact, when I had you, I was working as a nail tech. I was teaching. I was doing the club thing. Junior Civitan. I was also going back for my master's, and so there was one particular morning where I came to work and I couldn't find my keys anywhere. Nowhere. I couldn't find them anywhere. And so everyone was like, well, maybe they're in your car. And I was like, they can't be in my car. I have a Prius. So there's no way that they could be in my car because my car, it wouldn't.
Let you know.
Yeah. So and this is what Dr. Hammerker was like, well, why
Was he on a scooter? Sorry.
So I couldn't get into my classroom because I didn't have my keys. So go out to my car. My car was running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so-
a good old day when you lose
That's how
a little.
stressed I was. I mean, I didn't know which way I was
I
going.
know that my hair's falling out now, and I
was-
got a million different things. I was just telling Jordan today, right before you got here, that how stressed my life was, and I'm going on vacation, and I'm trying to get my mind and like let's get that. But
And it's crazy too, and this is on an educational level, like is all the hats like Matt said you wear, and to change, have so many different careers, to have a passion of teaching kids.
Yeah, I love it.
it says a lot about you, sis.
Hey, the whole world needs to pay teachers more. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
yeah, just
I
pay them
wouldn't
more. Just pay them more.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
I would rather
50%.
I'd rather have a conversation with a teacher than what I see as an Instagram model or any other thing. You look at celebrities. I think local, like it's kind of shocking to see, especially we had 180 kids to the growth now. It's a big growth.
Yeah, it's huge.
And people at that age, they gravitate, their heroes are not the people that are later on in life. It's these fictitious people that they look up
They're
to.
not tangible.
They're not
I mean-
tangible. No, they don't know how to attain anything. And so it's all been handed to them. And just people that are young, they see that. And then for me, that's at least how it was, at a young age. And then maybe not everybody's like that. But the older you get, you realize who did influence you, who did shape you, who did, I guess, steer you in the right direction. And back to that, what I said earlier, kudos, thank you again for that.
Oh,
I
you're
feel like it's
welcome.
super honored. I mean,
welcome.
now we got the sweet St. Martin merch, and we're going to have to come to a swim meet and do some filming and maybe
Yeah,
interview
absolutely.
some
I'm going to join the team.
If you got state
Okay.
champions.
I don't know how to
if you
swim,
got
but I'm
state-
going to,
I'll
you know what?
teach you.
I'm going to.
Yeah, we might have to
Look.
check the background check again. I don't know. It's just the beard. Well, guys, look, we're kind of coming closer to an hour. If you guys got any questions from Miss Heise, now it's time to let us know. I've got a few more questions. I think what's going on this year with COVID and how they've implemented the kids back to schools. Has there been any kind of change there?
So that's been really interesting. Our district has been really big on let's get the kids in the classroom.
That's awesome.
And so that has been very instrumental in making sure that there were no gaps. And so it's at first a lot of teachers are very resistant to that because it was very scary.
Yeah,
And,
I mean nobody knew anything about it at first. So.
No, and quite honestly, this is really my first outing. But, yeah, I know y'all should feel very, very.
I do.
fortunate.
When you
I
said
appreciate
yes,
it.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I feel
Well,
special.
My husband is very high risk, and so am I. So, but we've been vaccinated, but still, you still have to take your precautions.
Yeah.
And but at the very beginning, there was a lot of us that were just we were very uncertain as to the protocols and the safety precautions and how it was all going to go down. And when you don't have you got a kid, you have 25 kids in a classroom, and the classroom is only so big, you really can't separate them, and you weren't sure if kids are going to really wear their mask. How much enforcement are they?
Yeah, imagine
what
telling
kind
a
of backup are you going
17-year-old
to
Matthew
get?
Brooks to wear a mask.
Right.
Or just
I
telling
mean,
us
he's
now,
already,
yeah.
he's running from the cops. So what do you know? So, so there was a lot of unknowns, but it really, it's worked out. And, people have gotten, there's been some apathy lately, with COVID, and people are COVID tired.
Yeah.
So we just have to do those gentle reminders. Pull up your mask. And at our school we do have a certain flow where you can directional flow. You can only go down the hallway a certain way.
So they are taking their precautions. That's nice.
Oh yeah.
So we went to
Yeah.
Disney World a couple months ago, and it was the same way there.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, who does the studies to find out that this works? Because this is,
Yeah.
man, it's just back to opening your eyes to stuff you didn't know about.
Right. Yeah.
But are y'all operating at full mass? Are the kids in there 100% capacity? Or
Oh yeah, no, we've never not been. We've always been, 100%. And those kids in the very beginning that didn't want to could opt for virtual. And then at the 9 weeks, we said, okay, if you want to do virtual, you need to have medical proof. And so a lot of kids that didn't have the medical proof had to come back. And then those that had medical proof, stayed on virtual. And so, which decreased the teacher load because it was very hard as a teacher to have in class and virtual at the same
twice
time.
as much.
So sometimes you felt like you were teaching 6 different classes. And so like right now I've got several virtual kids in my classes, but it's not like it was in the very beginning. And it's hard. It's really hard to be able to reach those kids, and you feel bad for them because you can't be there.
And when Emily, my Emily, you just met. She's an orientation coordinator at Pearl River Community College. This is her. Education's her thing, and she wrote a question. But I've seen a change with us. Taking the virtual. I've lived it.
Right.
Her, to educate, and she's been. It's been a change. And like you said, it's frustrating. She said, aside from Matt's encounter with the law, what has been your most memorable teaching moment?
Oh,
can't be that. It's got to be something way better than that.
But, what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
Like a fulfillment.
What is what is it?
Oh, God.
What do you do it for?
Yeah.
Tell us. See, now I'm not the one.
What's the
talking about
Jeopardy
it, so
song?
close.
What's the Jeopardy song?
No, you're not on the spot. I'm just-
Messing with you, girl. Take your time on that. But, I see your frustration with Emily. Like, I was, at first, it's like, what is going on? Why there's, I was trying to give, like, the mic. We have quite a few mics, but, like, after a while, it kind of wore as, how do you teach or how do you inspire? Like, I'm a GED dropout. Like, I'm probably the worst person to lecture people about, follow the rules or education. But with her, it's like, that's her passion. That's her, educating kids, and the same thing. It's her heart's in it. And man, I tell you what, to watching teachers and y'all do this is from my heart is like, it's a lot.
Well, I think that like the other day I had a student that she's kind of been struggling with, she's in my 2D class.
Yeah.
And so we were doing this, we were modeling after Walter Anderson, and we were doing the letter art, where they take a letter and then they have to kind of personify it. And she came up to me and she's like, I finally like something I did. And I was like, that's amazing. That feels
dope.
so good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when they feel good about something they do, but when I see a kid, and especially when we go through Walmart and they're like, hey, Miss Heise. And I'm like, hey, you. Because I can't remember their names. I see their face and I'm like, oh, I recognize them, but I just can't remember, because there's so many names.
Yeah.
And they tell me about something that they're doing and they just feel so excited about it. And it's like they made it, and it doesn't matter if they're, picking up trash or if they're a cosmetologist, and especially the cosmetologists. I think that's the ones that really, because I feel like
You've been there.
yeah, and I, because I'm a huge proponent that education doesn't mean college.
No, absolutely not.
And education is, definitely, college is definitely a route that you can take, but you can definitely go, military, you can do vocational education, but education, it comes in some many.
I'm still learning to this day,
suc-
everything.
You could still be successful and not have a college degree, so that, that's really important to me that when, because so many people think that, cosmetology is not something.
Oh, it's
that,
a career.
It's definitely.
Oh man, I write some insurance.
I'm a janitor, so that's funny you said that. We know, I'm janitor first.
Right.
I started when my first company. I started at 19 years old cleaning toilets.
And I've met many millionaires that don't know how to read or write.
Yeah.
And it's just they have the nature in their, I guess, their blood to go work.
Right.
And learn. You
And
learn
integrity is
from
so
working.
important, to making sure that you're doing the right thing. And so, I think that, when they can be proud of something that they've accomplished, I think that's when, it's.
We get gratifying feelings here. That's what kept us kind of coming back to this.
Yeah.
And it was more of a, sit back and look at it. And I'll be the first to tell you, it took me a long time to accept my own work and to look at it and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're your own
Yeah.
worst critic.
Yeah.
And having someone like Jordan around to say, man, that's really good. Don't be so scared of sharing that with the world or putting it out there. I feel like that kind of motivates you. And you're doing that for the kids now.
Yeah.
You're telling them, no, that you could be insured themselves, and you're saying, no, just display it. Do y'all still hang up people's artwork everywhere?
Oh yeah, we still do critiques. Yeah, no, that's important. You have to get feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're no man's an island. That's really important. And I think that's probably one of my biggest downfalls is that I don't share my artwork, so I don't really get that feedback.
Well, we just got to share some of it. I was super impressed with seeing what you got.
I'm actually, like, especially like, go back to the glass one. Like, that was like, how'd she do that? Like, that's going to stop here. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's the one that looked like all the colors? That was just,
This one?
I can't see that far.
Yeah, that was so much fun. It was just different rods of glass and fusing that together with a clear glass
That's impressive.
and then bending it.
Can I buy a piece of that art? I mean, how was it for sale?
Do you sell any of your art?
No.
Give it away.
Yeah.
We should be able to display some here.
I've never, so when I told you that we have the metal prints, I've never sold one of my prints in all the years of I have 34,000 really city photos that have been shared. Like, they use them for brochures. They're out, and I've never. And Marty Wilson's a godfather of my son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Marty's one of and he's like, man, you just gotta. And I still it's my biggest thing is I think I'm my biggest critic when it comes to that. I don't want.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, I don't want to give it out. I don't want to share it. We all have our things.
Yeah. Well, that's why it was really hard for me to go back for the MFA. I was like, I don't know that I can really do this, but it's been an interesting process.
I think you're killing it. How much longer you got?
I have one more class, and then I can be certified to go ahead and teach college. So I think I might slow it down then, and just go from there.
So we're gonna since if you get questions, guys, you can add it now. Let's go into the pink dress run, the breast cancer. Your mom had breast cancer, but let's share for Liz.
Yeah, if anybody wants to donate, reach out. Let's see, drop that banner, Jordan. There's a phone number, Liz Gawkey. She's on standby right now, ready to take donations.
So our pink dress run is October 23rd. All our money's in-house. It goes to Gulfport Memorial Foundation, which I'm about to pull some clips up of this. Is Gulfport Memorial Foundation. This year we raised $26,000 to Gulfport Memorial Foundation. It's a great event. It's life-changing. And you said your mom suffered from that.
Yes, she did.
And I definitely want her out. I want to meet her. You think she'd come out?
My mom?
Yeah.
She passed.
Oh, she passed?
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's it. I couldn't.
So we need to
How
get
long
her
ago?
out to come support her. You guys to come out and support her.
Oh yeah,
on live
absolutely.
Here.
That's why Kiowa gets so involved.
Yeah, he's been in the Real Men Wear Pink with us.
Yes, yeah.
But the connection all makes sense now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So breast cancer is near and dear. So yeah, we just got 2 new recruits from you guys, and you got some recruits from us. We're gonna come help you out and do some filming with your kids, and I got to make up for this field trip loss thing somehow, some way.
Oh gosh,
So I can go
you got
sleep at
you got
night.
that Catholic guilt going
Yeah,
on,
I think
don't
so.
you?
I don't know, but I do feel guilty about it. But anyway, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Miss Heise, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You can come back and do it again.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you think
Anytime.
it was no pressure, right?
No
It was
pressure.
great.
It was fun. It's a good time.
All right, y'all come back and check us out next time.
Bye,
Y'all,
guys.
sign,
Hey, guys,
your,
we'll
sign
take
your kids up for her class at St. Martin High School. Only got a few years left.
I got the yellow ribbon. So, it's okay.
How many times did you sit back just relaxing? Understand movements coming in, yeah, we got the packs in. I don't really wanna see no more traffic. Last pack just came in, let's get it out quick. Wanna be okay, wanna be alright. Wanna see the world.
Jacket, me and Matt were with him.